As we stop for a moment and realize how fast this year's calendar has inched toward 1st of June and the beginning of another hurricane season, I and many others are reminded that this will be the 10th year since Grand Cayman took the full brunt of Hurricane Ivan. This year will also be the 6th anniversary since Hurricane Paloma devastated Cayman Brac and parts of Little Cayman. It is my fear that we are becoming complacent in our preparations. I pray to God that everyone who experienced those two storms remembers, as this new hurricane season approaches, how important it is to not only stock up on your hurricane supplies, but to have a plan for evacuations either off island, to a shelter, to inland property of family or friends, or to stay home and ride out any potential storms. If you do decide to stay home, please ensure that your house is a safe place to remain. While the early predictions are for a quiet 2014 Atlantic hurricane season, I would urge everyone to be prepared. Do not be lulled by the suggestion that there will be 9 tropical storms, but only 3 becoming hurricanes as is predicted this year. Annual hurricane predictions are merely a best estimate of expected hurricane activity in the Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean. The Colorado State forecast was issued on the 11th of April. The United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration headed to New York City on 22nd of May to make its predictions of a quiet season. I make mention of this because it is the first time NOAA has left either its South Florida or Washington, D.C. domains to issue the yearly prediction. They did this in New York because of the damage wreaked to the eastern seaboard by Superstorm Sandy, which slammed the region in October 2012. A stew pot of ingredients helped a niggling Category 1 Hurricane Sandy become the massive storm that left behind $100 billion in damages and a United States populace reeling at loss of life and property. We saw in Hurricane Ivan that storms can be fickle. I remember well watching the track with Ivan and being more concerned about our sister islands and our friends in Jamaica. Then it wobbled. I dare say the majority of us on Grand Cayman were not prepared. After all, it had been 16 years since Hurricane Gilbert and some 70 years since Cayman had felt the massive blows of a killer hurricane in 1932. In the past 10 years, many will have moved to these islands who don't know about hurricane preparations. I ask all Caymanians and those who call these islands home and know how to prepare to reach out to the newcomers and see that they have proper hurricane supplies and plans. If you do not yet have a personal hurricane plan, please get one in place. Be certain that you have your hurricane supplies, and if you live in a high-risk or vulnerable area, plan your escape route to the nearest hurricane shelter. Government preparedness cannot be a substitute for personal preparedness. We all need to be ready so that we can survive any storms that come our way and be in a better position to do any necessary rebuilding. There can be information overload, especially as storms approach our shores. But I urge you to pay attention to the government announcements and bulletins when they become necessary. The National Weather Service, emergency managers from Hazard Management Cayman Islands, and the local media will again work together to get necessary information out to the public in a regular and timely manner. It is my prayer that the early predictions ring true and that God spares these islands once again during this, the 2014 hurricane season.